Hey guys, welcome to Atheism Info, YouTube's newest channel that nobody will watch, except for you because you're such a loser. Anyhow, you're probably here because you've arrived from the Magic Sandwich Show. I, as thyself, am but a fan of the Magic Sandwich Show, the Atheist Experience, Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, Daniel Dennett, and everybody else on YouTube. Should I list them? Sure, but I won't bother. In any case, this first video will feature the introductory part of my review of the Bible and atheists' view of the Bible. So far I've read the first 10 chapters and it was most disappointing actually, because even as an atheist I expected it to have some type of moral insight into the human condition or something. Instead, what I found was entirely disappointing. Okay, it starts off with Genesis, the creation account. And before that, let me say, sure, it's very insightful if you are looking at it from a point of view of examining the lives of how people viewed life maybe 2000 years ago. Sure, that's very interesting and enlightening. But if you are to look at the entire thing that I've read so far as an insight into how we should live our lives today, or in terms of some penultimate truth that you should believe currently, I thought I didn't understand Christianity before. Now I just think Christians are even more stupid, and honestly I feel ashamed whenever I see them now. I've a sort of empathic shame, because man, the stuff that's written in there, you really should read it. Man, if you're a Christian and you haven't read the Bible, read it also, man. I dare you, because I dare you to really conflict with your faith, and you should join us on the dark side. In any case, it begins with Genesis, which is the whole creation story that I'm sure everybody has heard of, so I won't go too deeply into it. Next, it sort of goes on straight into Exodus. And Exodus is sort of the story of how the Jews escaped with the help of God from Egypt, which is quite strange considering that that never actually historically happened. But even so, the entire story is set up in such a way that God is basically having a pissing contest with himself. He's like, if you haven't read it, basically the Jews want to escape. Pharaoh says, oh, and there they have only one Pharaoh, who is the king of Egypt, who is Pharaoh. There aren't like many different pharaohs who have different names, it's but Pharaoh. So yeah, you should watch out for that. In any case, he is like, okay, let him go, whatever. And then God says, no, I'm hardening your heart. And then he's like, okay, I won't let them go. And this repeats like maybe 10 or 20 times. I've lost track. In any case, they finally escape, and still Pharaoh is supposed to be the bad one. I'm even beginning to use the words in such a way that the Bible says, because I can't say Pharaoh says this, Pharaoh says that, but that's what you constantly hear in the Bible, like it's a singular person. It sort of, it bites on your brain, you know? In any case, oh, and by the way, I'm listening to the audiobook, and there the Egyptians sound like orcs from Fallout 3, and in general the Bible sounds sort of, it just sounds so silly at times, you know? You expect that if you don't understand something, or something sounds, you know, in ancient English, so it sounds sort of, you know, sometimes it can be difficult to understand, but the more you understand it, the more stupider it sounds, and that's just that's just shocking. After that we have Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and man, will that destroy your brain. Yeah, I'm so thankful that I was listening to the audiobook version, otherwise I would never have been able to finish it. Especially Numbers, which is basically like a population count, which goes on and lists all of the descendants of everybody and everybody and everybody, and you should basically just listen to a population census for several hours, and basically that's it. Oh, but you also hear instructions on how to sacrifice goats and stuff, and really depends on what type of sacrifice it is, whether it's a peace offering or whether or not the goats should be unblemished, and how many and for what reason and for what sin. Like if your neighbor accidentally kills your goat, you should give him another goat, or some stuff like that, which is like, I get that it would have been prudent to have some type of law earlier, but no. And I guess it's the same as if aliens were to find the United States tax code and were to re-examine it. But really it was quite boring. Oh, but it includes some gems, like if byjourner, I'm not sure if that's the word anyhow, if a traveler approaches the temple, you should stone him to death, or something like that. It includes such really weird things. After that we also have another eloquent book called Ruth, where she basically had some type of tragedy. Then I will have to skip a few of the books because some of them simply didn't stick to my mind as much as I would have liked them to, because, I don't know, they all seemed sort of the same, like, God says this, but the people didn't do it, so he smote them. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And basically it goes on like that. And towards the end at least, until at least the point where I am now, I've arrived up to Samuel 1 and 2 and just finished reading Kings. And there I have to actually salute them, because there finally begins to become some sort of semblance of a storyline, which I guess kudos to them, but still, you know, it's sort of like the king began and he fought against that tribe, and then that tribe sort of did this, and then the king said that, and then the tribe attacked that tribe, and then the tribe slew that tribe, and then the Lord was pleased. Then he wasn't pleased because the people worshipped Baal, the rival god. Then the people asked for forgiveness. Then the Lord was like, okay, but I will forgive you only after a generation. And it goes on and on. And but I still plan to finish reading the entire Bible, so you don't have to. But I still would rather that you did, because it's so silly and most Christians never read it. Goodbye for now.